sleeping with my father's dead body.
What?
Yes.
Why?
They took him to the hospital. When my dad died, he died in my hands.
Yes, you said something.
We called the ambulance, they couldn't do anything, you know. They took him to the hospital rejected my father. So the day my father died, he died in my hands.
Oh, really?
Yes. So the same me that, my father went and dumped me with Pastor T.B. Joshua. At some point, my father packed me. He didn't bother about education. Right. My father packed me and said, you know what, this girl, go and live with Pastor T.B. Joshua.
My people now here, just had it on, nine be that oh. How she been they sleep with the papa dead body when he been by. How the papa go dump her for T.B. Joshua. How T.B. Joshua, they sleep on top water. She talk plenty things, so I say no believe my ear go hear am. Make I bring Mona come listen. I beg, make una listen. Leave your comment. What do you think? Help me also share this video. This world is more spiritual than the physical. And
so, why did you found it?
Coming from a very wealthy, rich home, my father had everything money could buy, but there was one thing money could not buy. I was completely a paralyzed child. I couldn't walk. My father flew me everywhere in the world just to make sure that this girl can walk. So if you tell my father, there's a doctor in Italy, there's somebody in Rome, we're there. My mom was there, you know. And the last resort, my mom is an Igbo woman, my dad is Yoruba. So, you know, you marry an Igbo woman to Yoruba land, and then they'll be like, where you go see this kind of best outbreak, you know. So they gave my mom the last chance, the last of the chances. So the last chance was, there's a place in Italy, they're going to take her and then they're going to make her walk.
So who gave her the last? Her in-laws, your father's family?
My father's family and my father. Okay. So once this doesn't work, take this child and go back to your Igbo land.
Wow.
You know? So they went to Italy, they took me to Italy. And then the only thing the doctors could do with all the money they paid was to give my mom a one-legged shoe higher than the other and say, okay, they should start to do therapy, and then by the time I start to stand, you know, one leg will raise, you know, when the one heel is higher than the other, that's the best they could do. So put me back on my wheelchair and then came back. For one reason, I think I'm the only child my father spent so much time and effort getting to the root of who she is. So if you're telling me that my dad apologized, my dad never apologized. As a matter of fact, from all the children that my dad had, I was the only first and only person that on the day they were naming me, armed robbers came to attack my father, to the point that my father jumped fence. And that day my father jumped fence from Alausa. You see that ShopRite, the current ShopRite, you'll notice that there are some blocks of houses up until that fire brigade or whatever, brigade. My father owned all those houses. So that was a house they wanted to do my naming ceremony. Armed robbers came to attack them there. My father jumped fence, found his way to highway, got to Illusion, and that was the last time my father slept in Lagos.
Sorry, this is a wild story. So wait. He left you and jumped the fence?
My father left me, my mom. My father jumped fence, saved his own life, got into his car with his driver, went straight to hometown Illusion. So from the time I have been born, I have been mystery to both my parents.
Right.
Do you understand? So which of it is my father going to apologize
for?
Now let me bust your bubbles. So by the time all his children, his all 10 children had made it in life, America, London, I was in Ogun State University. I now became the only child who sacrificed her youth for my father. I'm the one who would go to school in the morning, come back and make food for my dad, you know, massage his body. It got to a point my friends were like, oh, my baby, wake up now. Wait till they worry you and your papa. Now you they marry your father. I had a stepmother there that they'll come and carry me, we'll go to club, you know, that at least I should just. I remember them, Dapo Direle and all that. They were having Toyosi, Fumi Awolowo and all of that. They were having a party. They had planned that party in Lagos. So they said when they are coming from Agoy, they will just pick me. I don't know how my father got to me about that conversation. Today, I don't dress up. I don't wear shoe. I was just tiptoeing, going out of the gates, giving those gate man 1,000 that just helped me. You know, when you are just on your last leg to open, somebody just said, hey, we'll grab whatever. That was how my father napped me again. Oh yeah, I'll give you 2,500. You're not going anywhere. You know, so it was still the same. The day my father died, he died in my hands.
Oh, really?
Yes. So the same me that my father went and dumped me with Pastor T.B. Joshua. At some point, my father packed me. He didn't bother about education. Right. My father packed me and said, you know what, this girl, go and live with Pastor T.B. Joshua, synagogue. So my father took me until my mom came and said, leave this speaking for me. Give me.
Sending you to T.B. Joshua, did you think he was doing a good thing for you?
My dad thought he was helping me to build my spiritual life. Because when my dad was alive, he belonged to, you know, those days, the rich people, he must belong to something, whether it is Ogboni or one calls.
So which one did he belong to?
So he was a lodge member, all these Ogboni things, because even when he died, that was another drama for another. That was the first time, as a young girl, I stood tall for my father. I said, anybody they dare. I was sleeping with my father's dead body.
What?
Yes.
Why?
They took him to the hospital. When my dad died, he died in my hands.
Yes, you said so.
We called the ambulance, they couldn't do anything, you know. They took him to the hospital rejected my father. Said, this man in this hospital, you want them to come and bombard this hospital? It's not possible.
Because of his lodge membership.
Because his lodge membership and his popularity.
Right.
All their carry bulls, all the obas, they happy, say, hey, grand patron, don't buy, you know. So they had to take my father's body. They were looking for where to take him. I said, bring my father's body home. So we took my father's body and then we put him in the bedroom. And then when family members said that Latayo was there, they started to come, where is the key of the house? Where is this? Where is that? I didn't even answer. I just took one fake key. I just gave it to them. So my father's body was there. Every night I go to sleep with him.
Sorry. So he had died at this time?
My father had died, so no mortuary could keep my dad.
Yes.
No hospital could keep him.
So you had to come back
The only
home.
thing was we brought him home. So the Methodist people came because my father is also a Methodist member by birth, you know. So the Methodist people came, they prayed for us and all that. And we also didn't tell them that his body was in the house.
Right.
They didn't know his body was in the house.
Why didn't you tell them?
Because at that point, nobody trusted anybody.
We didn't
know the gravity of what my father had put himself into.
Right, so you don't know whether someone's going to try and steal the body or something?
No, it wasn't as if whether they had started showing up. They had started coming. They had started making requests. They had started speaking to my elder brothers. My elder brother, my dad's first son, lives in Lagos. They had started talking to them. They had started calling them.
Right.
So
all kinds of rituals.
Those ones were already bulging. Those ones, they were already checking out, bulging and all that, you know. And me, the youngest, I just said, you can't even try.
So you were staying with your dad's body so that nobody will come and take the body and do anything with it.
You couldn't.
And they didn't attack you?
How?
With their spiritual something?
How? Maybe until God gives anybody that power. You can't attack me spiritually. I'm greater than you. Whatever you believe in, somebody sitting here is bigger than that thing.
I love that.
So, at the end of the day, my brothers even came. It even became war between the children. Let them carry. There's one of my sisters that one started crying. She doesn't want to allow. Our dad already said he settled these people, and these people are claiming that there's no settlement. He said they already contributed one thing and this and that. All that drama tarried. Me, I was just busy. I'll just go and check my father's, but he completes. In the night, we'll sleep together, wake together, and let me even shock you. My stepmom at that time, that one even wanted to enter the room.
To do what?
As usual now. You know, once it's polygamy, everybody wants to grab whatever is grabbable and do whatever is doable.
So she was trying to take things from inside the room.
So she entered and then she only to realize that dead body and the daughter. you know. So today, I've seen too much. I've gone through so much for me to even now feel the life I'm living today is not a challenge. It's just a fulfillment of who I am.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
It is what it is.
Okay, so growing up with TB Joshua, you know all the controversies about TB Joshua now. Some people think he's a fake prophet, some people think he's a false pastor. You have first-hand experience of him. Was he a genuine man of God?
I was young at the time I was living with TB Joshua, but I saw rare things. I saw Pastor TB Joshua wouldn't be able to eat. Sometimes he doesn't eat palm oil. Sometimes he doesn't eat salt. Whatever food you're going to give him. As a matter of fact, inside that Ikotwegbe where we were then, the place where he's living, we have to get onto like a small ferry or a paddle boat and then take him. Pastor TB Joshua didn't have a bed. He didn't have AC. He didn't have TV. It's just like a room that was combined with wood. Right. You know, just like, you know, these houses on the water.
Right,
you know,
right.
Like when you put the planks together.
Yes.
That's where, and then a mattress. That's where.
Why?
That's the life he was living as at the time I was there, you know. And then if he wants to come to the church, they bring him to the church. He has an office inside the church as well, but if he has to sleep and all of that, he goes there. I remember his daughter, Tokbe. I remember his wife. For a very long time, I never saw the wife coming close. And I asked that question, saying, when you're, that there's nothing like sexual.
You cannot have sex with his wife.
No, there's nothing like sexual. That's when you're spiritual, you're clean, you know.
So how do you get the children?
No, like there are times where he has to stay.
Okay,
yes.
right.
And then I think he got to a point in his life where that wasn't obviously happening anymore, you know.
But what doesn't happen anymore, like this separation?
Maybe sex and all of that.
So I must have stopped having sex at some point.
Pastor TB Joshua got to a point where his life was even controlled, even his preachings. Obviously, TB Joshua is a very, very spiritual being. Though the relationship between Pastor TB and Joshua and I and my dad was different because, you know, my dad was a spiritual, craven person. You know, my dad wanted to break record in every angle. Oh, this is the church that is doing. My stepmother carried one pregnancy for about 11 to 15 years there. I don't know where she... Yes. So when it got to that point, that was how they got encounter with Pastor TB Joshua. So they carried that with that pregnancy there, you know.
So that you have a lot of stories. Hold on, sorry, wait. Your stepmother had a child for 15 years.
Had a pregnancy for a very long time, yes. Until tomorrow, she never gave birth to that child. So, but after my dad died, she's got twins. I don't know how she got the twins, you know. But until... I remember my papa don't buy flasks, buy everything. Where, you know, when we're going to school, we were in boarding school. Hey, by the time we come back, we're coming to do Ikomo. We would like, when you born, call us, so let them come and say, no, well, like, we they go, they come, we they go, they come, we they go, they come. We don't see them.
You graduated and baby has not come out.
We graduated because...
Was she really pregnant?
Yeah, she was pregnant.
So it was a spiritual attack?
Yeah, but whatever spirituality is, what spirituality it is, you know. But me, I know, say, I enter secondary school, graduate, I still not see picking. So it was when it got to a point, that was when my dad took her to TB Joshua, because then, you know, there could be a miracle and all of that. So they took her to...
Right. So do you think the miracle happened? That's why she eventually had the twins?
No, She had twins for another man after my dad died.
So what happened to that baby?
The pregnancy disappeared after some time. So we didn't see anything anymore.
So that must have been the spiritual intervention.
So that was
yes,
spiritual intervention.
Okay, so you didn't answer the question. Did you think that TB Joshua, so he was a spiritual man?
So this was a spiritual man.
Yeah, but do you think he was a genuine man?
See, let me tell you something about spirituality. God uses spirituality in different ways.
Why do you think that the blog, Gist Lover, is on your matter? You know, because, so when researching for this interview, they've said some really heavy things. They've said that you're a member of Ogoni now. It makes sense. I mean, you've mentioned your dad, so maybe that's what they could say. You're a member of Ogoni. They've called you a former call girl. Is there any truth to any of these allegations they've made? And what exactly is the fight that you and this blogger have?
Number one, you and I, nobody knows who Gist Lover is, number one.
Right.
Number two, I'm sure there's something they always say on social media, come with receipts. Nobody, upon everything that has been said about me, there has not been a single receipt. So, whoever that blogger is just trying to change the narrative of me as just a Adeto. Like when they started to talk about myself and my husband, his ex-wife ran to him. Madam, you have failed in court. Spiritually, you have failed. This is a woman who has appeared to me in America as a cat. This is a woman who would appear to me in the middle of the night. Sometimes my husband will be like, what is all this fight? I will tell my husband, listen, the only reason why I just overlooked this woman, I have not gone into prayer fast because she's got kids for you. I have been invited by the leaders of witchcrafts before election. There was no Atiku, there was no Peter Obi. They were after my life because of the way I fight.
Who was there? Who is there?
Politicians.
Right.
Because of the way I also come to attack them. My husband used to work with them. As at the time I met my husband, he was not working with the government anymore. And he's a technocrat. But they keep looking at it that you be Lagos boy now, you be APC, your wife not supposed to do the follow your wife talk now, calm her down. And one day, when one of them called, my husband said, you know what, the only thing people can do to this woman that I know can stop this, if you can take her to India and let them drain her blood and put another, so that by the time she wakes up, she would have lost memory. That because even me that I'm her husband, living with her, I don't understand how she does this thing. And I was able to fight and conquer. I had 14 miscarriages. 14 times. 14 miscarriages with all my receipts, my scan.
For your husband?
Yes. This is 8 years.
I get that. So just to clarify the story, are you saying or implying that your mother-in-law was behind the miscarriages?
Stepmother. Whatever spiritual battles they were doing. Sometimes she would appear to me in the dream and she start to beat me with broom. Right. Sometimes when we go into court, she would just turn into... She appeared to me in America as a cat. My friend ran out until tomorrow. My friend can't sleep in that house. Saw her live.
You said Mohbad was speaking to you and was telling you things. I want you to explain what your inspiration was for getting involved in the whole Mohbad matter. When
Mohbad started to come to me, the only thing that weakened me about Mohbad was when he said, you know you are too creature. You can help me. The minute that boy said that thing.
And so this after he had passed. This was his spirit
this was on the... I think it was on the 12th. No, was it on the 15th or thereabout? 12, 13, 15, I can't remember. Because I released a song, my Calvary song, on the 11th. Yes. And then this happened, and then I just told all the bloggers, stop. Even before I came on the issue that somebody has died last month, I told my PR pause. I told Tunde, all of you should pause on publishing, and that somebody, a young person just died, and we're all saying, let's pay respect, until he came to meet me. So it was when he said that but you know you're a two-person. I was weak. He specifically told me what he wanted. He said, I lost track in life. I was chasing what I never needed because I thought I needed to get to where I'm not supposed to get to. This is my path. This is where I went to. But the problem is, now, I can't go to heaven and I can't rest. I am just like a whirlwind everywhere. I just want to rest where there is solace. That was all he first said to me.
His spirit identified that you had these powers, and the spirit thought that you could be able to bring him back from the dead.
But I won't do that.
But you couldn't. So the whole process of that whole thing achieved nothing then?
The whole process of that thing achieved a lot.
Okay, what was the thing that achieved?
But they didn't allow me to talk, and I kept quiet. I wanted to. You see the way the social media people started to do this, Can you at least share with me? Today.
I'm not social media people.
Today, whether you're social media people or not, Mohbad is dead.
Yes.
Mohbad said a lot.
Right.
The time when I wanted to talk, I did it. That didn't mean that I didn't do a lot behind as a person.
So the thing that...
What Mohbad wanted is more of a spiritual thing and told me a lot of things that led to his death, how everything transpired and all of that, which I took my time and I listened. I went to 5 different mountains. And you know the funny thing? I even posted it on my status. When we were leaving F1, he came clear on the sky. I wasn't only the one who saw it, even the other pastors saw it. So what he wanted was more, because he said this whole thing is going to cause chaos, drama, unable to unravel, but this is this. And I understand very well.
Right. Right. So you're saying that whatever it is you want to accomplish.
If I had spoken,
Yeah.
would have settled Mohbad's issue since. But because people thought she's a cloud chaser,
Yeah.
it's not
So
possible
that's
to
why-
speak to
so
them.
that's-
I just kept quiet. See, listen.
So you don't care what people.
I don't care what people
Yes, so
say.
why would you stop the assignment
Listen,
for them?
I don't care what people say, but I've achieved the most important thing.
Okay.
So nobody's going to come back and tell you that Mohbad is appearing today.
Okay,
I
right.
had over
Right.
100 people who say, Auntie, I saw Mohbad. Some people don't believe. In fact, there is a lady who Mohbad went, a pregnant woman, who she pleaded to go back into her womb. And you know, when this lady chatted me, I saw her. I asked her. I said, who gave you this name? She chatted with her Instagram page. I said, who are you? She was coding. I said, don't code. I know you very well. I said, where's your grandmother? Your grandmother initiated, you gave this speech. She said, Auntie, how did you know? I said, you're asking me how I got to know. You're talking to a prophetess, and you're asking me a prophetess how I got to know. You know, the most important thing is that boy, this is a worldly fight, but that boy wanted a spiritual settlement.
Right. So
He
he
wanted
got
to
it.
rest.
Right.
Did you ever hear anybody telling you Mohbad is coming to them? He's resting.
Right. You said you had been married twice before your present partnership. What happened with those?
So my first marriage, pretty young,
Right.
you know, and this man came from nowhere, saw me in the mechanics village, you know, we got talking, liked me. And then, you know, I like Papa of Gone. I love Papa. You see somebody, and then he bought me a G-Wagon. Look at it, I say, G-Wagon, Bawo. I don't, you see, I've seen money, I've seen wealth. My father is a trillionaire. And the Madeleke and all of them, they used to come to our house then to play with my dad, have meeting conversations, all this FCMB. So it wasn't nothing to me. This guy only used Popov to trick me. Other Popov in America and told them to deliver to me in London. Now I fall in love. I say I fall in love. I fall. I go love up. I go love Delta Man. I love Delta Man finish. Gave birth to my first son. I said, don't for London. But you know, the London in me, you know, this is a guy that used to give me $1,500 every day.
What?
Posting money to me from America. By 5 o'clock in the evening, he's already at the post office, either at the airport post office in New York. So every day I was always going to the post office in London to receive money. I have a whole bundle, you know. This is somebody that would saw fine girl. And then don't forget, you already heard the gist that now 1 trillion and one marry me, my man no agree. So you don't buy G-Wagon, say, okay, oh, that one no work. Now that pop off, you know, work. I wanted to come to Nigeria. I wanted to be the person, okay, I read this at my first degree. I wanted to, you know, do business, do everything. He told me, no, stay in London. I said, I go to Nigeria. He gave me a condition. He said, the only reason why I can allow you to go to Nigeria is if you have to go and stay with my father in Oboloko in Delta State. Yeah. I say, you see me finish, fine girl, we set like me, I born, I don't even resemble, I don't see Bele before. Make I can't go village, Name, with Lagos. He now said, okay, I'll buy you a house in Ogudu. See, English came you, English wiped me. When he now said Ogudu, I now started to call my aunties. I said, where is Ogudu? They said, oh, nice area. Don't worry, if you're coming to Nigeria, you can stay there. The minute he said, there's one area in Ogudu, Paco. I said, me, go live for Paco. Omo. I say, me, I'm not going. No. Omo, that was how I scattered the whole drama. I said, I'm not going to live in Paco, and I'm not going to live in your father in Asaba. I am here. I don't know what carried me. Now, so I carry myself, enter play with 120 pounds. And I said, okay, this my auntie now said, that should come to Nigeria, that I'll stay in Magodo. I said, Magodo, Wala. That was how I packed my bag and baggages and said, yes, I've arrived. That was how I got to Nigeria. Almost the minute I touched down, that was the end of my relationship. The guy just closed eye for me. In fact, the guy punished me. Now he helped me call immigration, and he punished me. I went through miserable life.
You told you were married?
Married, and I paid my bride price.
Relationship,
he paid my bride price.
Right. So when you came back, then he now turned against you.
That I disobeyed. I said, they know they disobeyed their Tama. They know they disobeyed Guinea-Kwa. So Baba Shabi became the most challenging man that I've been with. Right. But we weathered the storm together. So today when people say, my husband did this for me, they like, now Juju should use, I'll be like, my husband will tell them, come and enter. When I met him, he had 87 girlfriends.
Sorry, what? So when you met your husband, he had 87
My
girlfriends?
husband had 87 girlfriends.
Like girls that were his friends?
That he was sleeping with, they were enjoying. Baba Shabi tell me that. Let me even shock you. Baba Shabi tell me that. When I said, Baba Shabi, who is this one again? He said, I'm looking for jobs. You will not get job. Where is your recruitment center? Where are you looking for job for them? You that you have left Lagos State, you are the one looking for it. Baba Shabi, you know, so I fought the battle. Some people came with revenge. He give me Bele, say no go collect. I remove Bele. This one will come. I dated you for 15 years. This one will come. I've been with you for 20. This one will come.
So
I leave my husband to sleep with you because I realized that I was an assignment in his life.
Wow.
87 babes. You know what it calls me at some point? Damn blocker. When I read those charts, some of these girls, he doesn't even go to meet them. They'll be like, I saw you with this just a little girl. What are you doing with her? You that you like boobs, she doesn't have boobs. You that you like ass, she doesn't have ass. When I read, I just say, thank you. So when Baba Shabi is expecting to read up the chart, you just realize that this, who touched my first? Your counselor is here, your therapist. So gradually like that, 87 of them, the active babes.
That's that they were even dormant. Those are the active ones.
I'm talking about the active ones. I'm not talking about the dormant ones. The very first day we went to his apartment in Sweden, there was a hand luggage where they carry go airport. Today, filled with condom. I said, Vashabi, are you working for UNESCO or UNICEF? Which one are you working? He said, they give you. I said, they give you what? You won't kill yourself. Let me now. Okay, you want to laugh. The very first time, Baba Shabi and I were going to sleep on the same bed. We went to Lekki. As a matter of fact, they chased us out of that hotel at last. They wrote a letter that, you, these two people, we don't want to sleep again. Because, you know, Baba Shabi saw me naked. He said, you know, go better for the guests. You have nipple on your ring. You have ring on your nipple. I've never seen this before. Baba Shabi started shouting. The hotel people came. Baba Shabi pushed. It was more like this guy raped me. He said, they said, Oga was, they said, now, Nape, now. Baba Shabi was screaming. Baba Shabi was almost mad, seeing me naked for the first time.
Thank you very much for joining me. This has been a blast of a conversation.
I know.
And I'm